Hey folks, Daddy's Daycare coming at you on Good News Friday. I'm introducing a new segment to my channel called, you guessed it, Good News Friday. Let's be honest, most of the news we hear throughout the week is fairly negative, depending on what your news source is. It can be a lot more negative than positive. But here on Good News Friday, we are sticking to all 100% positive news that is going on throughout the country. Just a little something I thought I'd share with you guys. I like to look into, I love politics. That's one of my, if you read the description of my channel, I really love politics. But a lot of times throughout the week, I also like to read good news, because that just it just helps out a little bit, helps balance out some of the negative that you hear. A little housekeeping. I'm smoking my beautiful Costello pipe, and in it I am smoking some J.F. Germain and Son Balkan Sobrani. I figured I would go for an English tonight. I've been smoking Virginia's for about a week straight. Excuse me, I have a little heartburn, and I said, why not? Why not just smoke a Virginia tonight? Let me see if I need to relight it. Yes, I do. Oh, nice smoky flavor. Just a good overall tobacco. I know most of you are very, very familiar with it. So let's get on with some good news. A man is flooded with job offers after handing out his resume in the heat with a smile on his face. After Patrick Hoagland was laid off from his job as a forklift operator, he spent weeks applying for work around town. But he didn't have any luck until he finally took a more creative approach to getting work. With temperatures soaring as high as 110 degrees Fahrenheit, the 30-year-old father headed to a street corner in Phoenix, Arizona with 200 copies of his resume in hand. He also carried a sign that told passing drivers he had been laid off and he wanted them to take a resume. For 3 days, Hoagland would spend a few hours at the same intersection handing out resumes with a huge smile on his face. And then he caught the eye of Melissa De Gianfilippo. De Gianfilippo, who works at a PR and marketing agency, had been driving back to work from lunch when she saw Hoagland on the street. After taking one of his resumes, she realized Hoagland did not have the right skills for her agency. Nevertheless, she posted a photo of Hoagland and his resume to social media with the hopes that it would help land him a job. To their surprise, the post spread like wildfire. Within days, Hoagland was flooded with hundreds of job offers. Hoagland ended up taking a job at a concrete grinding company in Phoenix, and he says he could not have done it without De Gianfilippo's help. She has been great so far. She didn't need to help me, but she did, and it has changed my life, he said. I am so grateful to her. Wow, that's pretty creative for a guy to get out on a street corner and have a sign. He's a picture of him with a sign that says, please take my resume, laid off, looking for a job. That's pretty honorable. Congratulations, Patrick. That's a cool little story. Here's another one. A boy borrows an airplane for a few joyride laps on the tarmac. Now pilot wants to teach him how to fly. A 13-year-old boy from East China was found guilty of hijacking 2 seaplanes for a joyride last week, but instead of being punished for his little heist, he may have paved his way towards a career as a pilot. The teenager reportedly learned how to start the planes after he biked to the Tahoe Lake hangar in the Shanghai province last weekend and watched the pilots doing maintenance repairs on the planes. He then biked back to the airport in the dead of night and dragged one of the seaplanes onto the tarmac so he could take it for a drive. After he accidentally ran the plane into a guardrail, he hopped into a second aircraft for a few laps around the tarmac before he abandoned his new hot rod and escaped to his bike. Once police officials consulted the hangar's security footage and identified the boy, they negotiated the price of a small fine from his family in order to fix the damaged seaplane. Hangar employees said that it would have been impossible for the youngster to take the plane into the air without proper training, but they were still impressed with the boy's skills. "We pilots all admired him," the airport director told the South China Morning Post. He also told the news outlet that he and the other hangar employees are now trying to take the boy under their wing so they can give him flying lessons and help him become a certified pilot. That's pretty cool. Hopefully they do. That's a pretty cool story. A millionaire, here's another one. A millionaire helps boy after viral photo shows him doing homework on a sidewalk under a street lamp. In a famous Middle Eastern folktale, a boy's wish is granted after he finds a magical lamp. This year, echoes of that story reverberated all the way back to the Middle East from Peru when a boy was spied doing his homework under a street lamp, wishing he had electricity in his family's home. Thanks to the city security officers making it public, a video clip of Victor Martin Angulo, Cordoba, doing homework under a Peruvian street lamp was shared thousands of times on news websites and social media. When it went viral, the picture caught the attention of several key people who were in position to help. The first person to respond to the dedicated young man was the city's mayor, Arturo Fernandez Bazan. He learned that Victor was using a street light due to a lack of electricity in his family's home. Victor's mother didn't just lack the money to pay, there was substantial obstacles. She didn't have the documents to prove she owned the home, which were needed to legally install electrical service. The mayor of Mocha assisted Rosa throughout the process so she could obtain the deed. He also delivered school supplies to support Victor's desire to stay in school and become a police officer. That's pretty noble. But the real genie with the ability to provide a storybook ending was 31-year-old Yaqub Youssef Ahmed Mobarak, a millionaire, importer, and chocolatier from Bahrain. Moved by Victor's determination and reminded of his own childhood, the businessman flew nearly halfway around the world to meet him and his family. When Yaqub arrived in May and saw the condition of Victor's home and school, he decided to rebuild the house, adding a second story for bedrooms, and promised to update the school's infrastructure, adding furniture and equipping a new computer center in Victor's honor. He also seized the opportunity to support Rosa in starting a small business. Giving local photographers a moment to remember, Yaqub dropped to his belly on the sidewalk with Victor to recreate the famous night scene under the street lamp, and they read books together. He also gifted him with clothing, handed him a billfold full of cash, and sealed their friendship by presenting Victor's friend with a new wheelchair. In most fairy tales, the grantor of the wishes goes poof and disappears. But Yaqub has promised to return for the inauguration of the new school and new home. Until then, there will be electricity to study by and enough money to pay for it, thanks to the generosity of a benefactor and new friend from across the globe. Wow, that is pretty cool. Well, folks, thanks for joining me for this Good News Friday episode. And appreciate y'all coming to hang out with me for a little bit. I hope these stories encouraged you. I know I like to read about good news periodically throughout the week. And I hope y'all have a good weekend. It's going to be raining here in South Carolina pretty much all weekend. So, I'm just going to be hanging out inside with my family, making trips out here to the shed to smoke my pipe and read and whatnot. So like I said, thanks for joining me. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time. God bless you.